Everybody, welcome to another episode of Savage Patriots, where we will not be plagiarizing anybody else's podcast because we ain't Kamala Harris.
Not at
Um,
all.
my my first racist question of the day is, why didn't Kamala Harris select a black person to run with her the same way they cussed out Donald Trump for getting one of the whitest of white men to run with him? Anyway, y'all can answer that question over time. I'd just like to have an
Ooh.
answer for that if you
Oh yeah, no,
don't
Yeah.
mind. Remember, that was the all going thing. He sold y'all out. He didn't pick somebody colored for his running
yeah,
mate.
Mhm.
I
Yesterday
remember
we got
that.
a black woman, and she didn't pick nobody colored either. So I'm just saying.
Why
Dark
did Kamala Harris get the spoiled milk version of JD Vance?
horse milk version. Thank you.
Yeah, there you
She
go.
I
got
knew
the
something like that was going to happen.
she got the horse milk version of Bernie Sanders because that's who that dude.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He's a Bernie Sanders doppelganger.
Um, this
Bernie
week
Sanders
has been
light.
a big hubbub about Kamala's crowd and
Yep.
Kamala's statements and her platform, because we didn't really have a whole lot of things to go on. She has a website, but it's not populated with much but a donation button. And she recently supplied a video and a picture of
Mhm.
a crowd that met her at the airport. However, how, however, there are some issues. One of the bigger issue is that it doesn't look, what's that word? It starts with an R. Real.
Real.
I was
Yeah.
going to say authentic.
Yeah, that too. That I would think should have gotten flagged for authenticity and integrity, but she
Yeah.
didn't get flagged for that.
Nah.
We're gonna take a look at the picture, and y'all can tell us if we're just high. Okay. I know that I have a car, and when I clean it, I can see certain things reflected back to my eye when I look at the side of the car.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring up a picture here. This is her rally. Can anyone see anything that might look a bit, I don't know what's the word, askew? And
Suspicious.
Look closely, America. Look
do
closely.
you guys see anything at all? Like, I mean, just take a look real quick and tell me if you see anything that's out of the ordinary.
I will say, though, that the plane looks extremely polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Marlon, I will give him a tip. Look to the right where the engine's at. That's probably going
You
to be
know,
your best area where you
I
can
just
look.
I just realized something that is even more annoying to me as a photographer is the blur doesn't make sense. The depth of field doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't, does it?
No, it doesn't, because see, you can see right here in between where the stairs and the back is, the depth of field is in the back. So why is the foreground blurred? Other than they doctored it afterwards and made the foreground blurred for some reason. But why would you do that?
Yes.
I
caught
have
that
I have
too.
one thing to say about that.
Like the focus is wrong.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find
I find
Yeah,
it
'cause-
suspicious.
And-
that doesn't.
And I
make sense.
said
How's
it
that
earlier is that the original picture, the one that first dropped when this photo was out, the foreground or the crowd wasn't blurred like this.
Mm-mm.
So this is something they doctored after people started catching on to it, catching that it didn't look right. Then they
Yeah.
blurred it.
Yeah, because the depth of field where the focus is on Kamala Harris, right? So we can see the front portion of the plane; it's in very crisp focus, but behind it is blurred. But the foreground is blurred. That's not how that works.
They have a central fisheye focal lens. See, only the center of the camera goes clear, and then the rest is like you have cataracts. It's a cataract camera.
To be fair, there is a lens that does that has diopic depth of field where you can do one person in focus and another person in focus, but everything else is not in focus. That's a specialized lens, and that's not what you would use for a presidential photo.
Dang it. I was giving them
to
the benefit
say.
of the doubt. But you see, people, there are no people in the engine prop. You see that picture right here? Now,
Right,
there are
Sean.
people right close to it. You should at least see this guy. At the minimum, you should see, and then you should see this guy. But this is reflecting all the way behind everybody with nobody apparently nearby.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if maybe that we're just too high and we don't know what we're talking about.
To be fair, It could be possible if they're using a long enough lens and the compression of the space could make it seem like it's closer than it actually is. However, there would still be some sort of reflections, I would think, for people that are actually close to it, which would be the Secret Service.
I mean, like I said, it's a very extremely polished plane.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was my take.
And wasn't there like a vehicle next to it? Now, out of all things, one of the biggest things on that tarmac should have showed up as a reflection on that plane, I would think.
Yeah.
Part 2 is the amount of people on the tarmac awaiting the plane to arrive. Now, she would have to do 2 things. Let's just logically, what happens when you go to the airport? Let's say they make special accommodations for the people to show up and they can get populated there. How close are they to the plane? So how long did they wait, the plane wait for the people to come out to meet the section where they can actually be close to the plane? Because you can't really drive the plane up for safety. It's FAA rules, by the way.
Yeah.
Department of Justice over there. You can't drive the plane up like a limo and then have somebody disembark right in front of a massive crowd. The safety involved in that would mean that you can't be on the tarmac when the plane's approaching, taxiing.
Mm-hmm.
So then the question is, how long in between the plane parking and the airport, the tarmac getting populated with people did it take? So were they just sitting on the plane waiting for the airport to get populated?
That's what I was thinking, because like where's the video of the plane being taxied to the location, her showing up and then pulling out the elevator and all the things that are involved taxiing a plane of that size? You would expect there would be some sort of video to it in general, just to disprove all of the fake AI allegations.
And that's true, because anytime, like, let's say Trump flies into wherever, Florida, they always show his plane. Well, not always. Sometimes they'll show his plane landing and taxiing and parking. But as Coy stated, you're right. There is no video of this plane pulling up to that hangar.
Yeah, not even from mainstream media. Like, because even they would have some sort of reporter on the ground getting photos or videos of that. But like, this is all coming out from her campaign office, but not from anybody else.
Even approaching the plane, approaching the airport, they've recorded that before, but not in this case. I'm starting to get Michelle Obama pregnant vibes from these pictures. It never happened. It just never happened. And this is a picture of her event in a center. Now, this is going to be very graphic, so I apologize for the amount of nudity you're going to see in this picture. Yeah. But it's necessary. There's a lot of debauchery going on in this picture. And I'm just joking. There's not. But there's a whole bunch of AI in it. This is supposedly the picture of her crowd. Anybody see something weird?
How many do you want?
I don't actually know where
let's break it down. From. Okay, first, let's look at the eyes.
No, let's go left to right.
Yeah, why are their eyes all cockeyed like that? Like
let's go a little closer, shall we?
Yeah, like
why
see
did
this
Putin
lady.
Show up?
Look at her eyes. Look at their eyes. They're all fish eyes.
Look at him.
Look at this guy.
What is this talking about?
He's so attentive that he brought his third arm.
The guy next to him. Not that one, the other one. Right, that guy right there. Yeah. Why did Putin show up?
I know, right? Oh my, look at her face. Her part in her hair goes into her hair, comes back out around the side of her head, and
she looks like a Picasso painting. Like honestly, like that profile, you know, the one painting I'm talking about.
Yeah. Also, next to Putin, why does that look like a discount Tim Tebow?
This one right here, or this one? Yeah,
that one.
Yeah, wish list. Look at Tiger Woods here.
Yeah, look at his arms too. Go down.
What's wrong with his arms?
I'm getting there. I was just about to go there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
This is what happens when Tiger Woods has played too much golf, and then his woman crashes his car. Look at his hand. He's holding hands with himself while not holding hands with himself.
I like how Putin's arm transitions into being brown,
right?
While he's holding hands with a random Tiger Woods.
Yeah,
and it's long, extra long.
Look at the Hawaiian lady all the way to the left with the glasses. Look at her face. Go up. She has like the flower red.
This one here. Yeah.
Oh God.
Is that Michael Jackson back here?
What the?
Maybe.
And that's her twin next to her.
That's
oh wow, they're duplicated. Yeah, there you go.
John Cena. Here's Tim Tebow without the beard.
Oh my God.
There's Lando Lake's lady right here.
Do you see? Oh man, look at the Waldo kind of face right there in the very back.
Oh my God, look there.
Center looks like somebody's wearing a t-shirt of a face. You see it?
This one here?
No. Up and to the left.
Left.
Over.
Here.
Over. No,
Yep.
keep going left.
I see
Right
it.
there he is. You had
Yeah,
it on
yeah.
it right there. That guy.
Yeah.
Look at
Hey,
that.
Hey, Martin, look left of Tiger Woods, another guy that has on a hat.
This one.
Go up right above his head.
That
And then
Hey,
look at
also-
the guy. Look at
Oh,
the guy
one
above him.
behind. Oh
Yeah,
man.
look at him.
look at the two look at the two ladies or whatever, the three ladies right above the sisters' heads.
What is this? You see that? Hold on. Let me see if I can. Is that?
Oh,
Look at this one. This one here. Is that a cat?
where?
Is that a cat?
And there's a horse next to him.
Oh, I don't know. What
Look,
the heck?
and or a goat. Look at the nose, the mouth, the eyeglasses are up here. They got 3 different glasses going up. 1, 2, 3.
Holy
Oh, man.
moly. Hey,
Now,
look at the one Jay pointed out above the two sisters with the afros. Looks like Stormy Daniels got hit in the face with acid.
Right?
3 of them.
Look, you remember the bad guy from Hannibal Lecter when he had the face bitten off? That's him right here. Look, that's him.
Oh
Why does
my-
it get worse the longer you look at it?
I don't know. but
And
it's
why
hilarious.
do all of them look
So, wait-
Polynesian except for the 2 black ladies?
Why? Okay, so my question is that do we know which one they're claiming this is from? Because like I've seen it float around, but I've not actually heard anybody
That's
say
the
what it's claiming.
Arizona one, I think.
That's the Arizona one. Okay.
I think. Marlon, I just sent a video that it's going to go back to the plane, but it's really good. And it
Okay.
shows how the green screen actually works.
That's down. Let's watch that before we go to her next monumental clip, because she is really good.
Yeah,
you know,
she's
Kamala is
she's-
amazing.
The queen.
Slay queen, slay.
She's a slay
Slayer.
queen, man. A black queen, Marlon. Get it right.
Mm.
I'm black and I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all. Okay, here we go.
All right, just look at it. Without the crowd.
Too bad,
Yeah.
people.
I mean, I've seen that one before, but the thing that bugs me about that video is that they the ramp turns into an escalator for some reason.
Kind of like their faces.
Yeah.
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 Look,
It's-
all I know is that you have enough technology, people, to make. If you could make Iron Man's suit look like it's actually part of him, I'm sure you could have done a better job. But I understand short notice. You got to get it out there quick. You hire, a little podunk dude to do it, and then he, but you're not expecting people to look at things. I get it, but not everybody's that slow. Okay, really, we're not. We're not all unburdened either.
Unburdened by what has
By what
been.
we saw. We are unburdened by what we saw, though.
Yeah. So even like from my point of view, even if it's an embellishment of the size, like let's say that they did what is a common practice in the movie industry to actually like duplicate crowds, right? Because you can't pay a bunch of extras to make a giant crowd that you want. So sometimes you pay a certain amount of extras and then you just duplicate them to make a larger crowd, right? So that's like been a standard practice since like very early on. You get multiple people and then you reuse them over and over again on footage. So even if it was that still means they're trying to fake their events with special effects in order to boost their numbers.
And they have no interest.
Now, wouldn't that be a form of propaganda?
Yes,
It is.
Okay,
It's
so
all
what
propaganda.
what did Obama pass that allowed stuff like this?
the right to do it.
The right to do it, because before this election, I don't think we've ever saw fake crowds at fake rallies. I don't think we've ever seen it.
I mean, I've heard
we've had
inflated
Trump-
numbers, but
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have Trump saying that he had larger sizes than other people, but that's about it. He's never faked the size of his crowd.
Yeah,
Well, Kamala's used to faking a whole lot of stuff, so that's nothing.
including orgasms.
But I watched this, and I now figure out why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris became the duo that they are. I just realized why he picked Kamala Harris, and some of y'all might say it's DEI. It's not DEI. It's not. She was not hired because she was black. She was hired because, just like Joe Biden, she'd never had an original thought, and she could plagiarize with the best of them. And not just that, she could repeat the same thing over and over to different crowds, and nobody thinks that she said it before. She's that good. You ready? Here we go. This is Philadelphia, Wisconsin, Michigan.
It is good to be back in Pennsylvania. It really is good to be back in Wisconsin. It is so good to be back in Michigan. I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I know Donald Trump's type. I know Donald Trump's
Innocent.
type. In this campaign, I proudly put my record against his any day of the week. In this campaign, I'll tell you, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week. Are you ready to make your voices heard? Ready to make your voices heard? Are you ready to make your voices heard? When we fight, we win!
I did
All right.
not need that harmony there at the end.
All right, Marlon. Something I caught. So from the way she was talking in Philadelphia, changed from the way she was talking in Michigan and Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Philadelphia, she was talking more. She was code switching.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one of
And
those
then,
again.
did you notice it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you noticed it. She was code switching in each state.
Yeah, that's how
We
you
don't
fake.
see that stuff.
But she can't do a rally without doing the same speech on the same teleprompters. That's the biggest issue with this whole thing, is that she's not original. She has no flair. She doesn't even have Obama swagger. All right, like not even a little bit. She is not charismatic. She doesn't have the it factor. Period.
She does have the it factor. It just is attached to the S and H.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and also my dig earlier, in case everybody else missed it, she says, I know the type, when she was referring to Donald Trump. And I said, yeah, the innocent.
Yeah, the innocent.
Yeah,
type.
she knows the type because she puts them behind bars. Here you go.
So let's see what the propaganda is about these days.
Because when I get to office, we are going to not charge taxes on tips.
This Trump idea is unrealistic.
But here's the actual deal with what Trump is suggesting. All caps tax relief are actually backdoor ways to give rich people big tax breaks.
Smart enough to know the difference between, as they said, real solutions and wild campaign promises from a convicted felon.
It seems a little bit impractical. Out of taxes on tips is just kind of silliness.
The Biden campaign kind of scoffs at this idea as well.
What? Who? Wait.
The Biden
No.
campaign.
No, hold on. Hold the phone. What did he say? What did he say?
I do
take it
believe
back.
that was
Kinda scoffs
before
at this
Kamala
idea
got
as
in.
well, and kind of scoffs.
Huh? What was that, Coy?
I said I do believe that was before Kamala was nominated.
Yeah, but if it's in her mind that is a good thing.
This idea as well.
Last night, we saw big
Again, I have to hear
silliness.
this
Biden
one.
campaign kind of scoffs at this idea as well.
So the Biden campaign scoffs at the idea as well. Is she part of the Biden team?
Yes, very much.
Was
so
she,
part of
though?
the Biden campaign. Yes, very much part of the Biden campaign. So if Biden scoffed at it, that means Hillary not Hillary, same thing. Kamala co-signed on that scoffing.
Interesting. All right.
Well,
Last night, we saw a big speech in Nevada by Kamala Harris, and she came out for no tax on tips.
And eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Where have I heard that before?
This is just one of those economic policies that will go to the heart of doing something directly for people that they can feel.
She had a focus on the middle class, and so eliminating taxes on tips will help people that go to work every day and bust their butts to keep food on the table, clothes on their back.
Make America make America.
We're going to make America great again.
Okay, so I have a word here that Kamala seems to be guilty of.
I know what it is.
It starts with a P. You know what? Here's what I'll do. Let me just read this definition, okay? The action or practice of taking someone else's work, idea, etc., and passing it off as one's own. Semicolon. Literary theft.
Sorry, the reason I was plagiarism.
That word, yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's not the word I was thinking. I was thinking prostitution was the one she was guilty of.
She's also guilty of that.
Yeah, that too.
She stole that idea. She stole that idea from someone too. Just so
Look,
you know.
she may not be walking the figure eight like we would think she would be doing, but she is a political prostitute. So you know, she's getting paid to do stuff that's
true.
Not morally correct.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a reason why Biden picked her.
Yeah,
she's the type that does the copy pasta. All right, she's copy paste.
So,
oh god,
here she's admitting that she is indeed behind this plan, not just a saying.
And eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
A few moments.
Can anyone tell me what is hospitality?
Hospitality. It's Kamala.
I thought it was hospitality.
Hospitality. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Kamala word.
Is that a code switch?
Yes.
Huh.
Is it? Is it? That's straight
Biden seems intent on taking your earnings hostage. Now, the IRS, they just announced this week that they want to start tracking all of the tips that workers earn so that they can be taxed for it. So much for Biden's sacred promise not to raise taxes on anyone making less than $400,000 a year. Remember, this is all part of Biden's so-called Inflation Reduction Act.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill, as amended, is passed.
Yep. So the bill that would have taxed your tips in the first place was tie broken by the person who's now claiming that she's going to help you not be taxed on your tips.
No. I mean, she's the Black Queen, man. She slays. That's
okay. No, I'm hearing it wrong. I have to be hearing it wrong.
You are.
So you're trying to tell me. Let me make sure, because I know I'm slow, black and slow. You're trying to tell me that she is now running on something that she never held dear before.
Nope.
Only a month or so after Trump said he would be passing something along the same lines of. And when Trump said it, it was ridiculous and they laugh.
Mm-hmm.
When she says it, it's a groundbreaking idea and it can be done. But while she's actually in the White House, she passes through the complete opposite.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I didn't have it wrong. I do have it right.
I had Kamala Harris wrong. I did not know she had libertarian positions. No taxes.
I
No
mean,
taxes on
she is a
tips.
chameleon. Like, I mean, she in one instance she's lickety black, but the other instance she's
Curry.
yeah. And then another instance she's me Lucky Charms, and then a conglomeration of all of that. So that's chameleon.
Listen, stop dogging the woman for being a universalist and can be anywhere. She's been everywhere, man.
In everything too.
That's how you know she's a professional.
You know what she been doing. All right. Here we go. Y'all ready for this one? I don't know if y'all are ready for this one, but you might be.
And I think the first part of this issue that should be articulated is AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. But ultimately what it is it's about machine learning. And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine that will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what information is going in, what then will be produced in terms of decisions and opinions that may be made through that process.
Oh my God.
So here's what I've heard out of all of that. AI is 2 letters. That's all I got.
It's 2.
It's artificial intelligence, and she has none of one of those.
No, she's everything artificial and no intelligence.
There you go.
You know what kills me, hurts my brain about this lady, Kamala, is every time she talks to her base or voters, she talks like she's this super intelligent person who just knows everything, and she's teaching the rest of us new information. You can talk about this, the AI comment. You can talk about Russia and Ukraine. Russia's smaller, or Ukraine a smaller country, Russia a bigger country. She talks to people like she's just more intelligent. She's smarter. She knows more, and everybody else is dumb. And she's talking as if she's teaching us new information. That's very insulting to me.
Now, to piggyback off that, Sergeant, I'm going to say this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do that.
Can I caveat on that?
Okay. To caveat that, no, what it is she's actually a 6-year-old trying to tell you a story or tell you what they know. And so she's trying to explain artificial intelligence as a 6-year-old to their parent. That's what it reminds me of.
You ever get the idea that and that and that and that?
Yeah, exactly. When you put it in that cadence and imagine her as 6 years old, that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like her trying to be intelligent. It does. It sounds like a 6-year-old trying to be intelligent like an adult.
Yeah. And her base is eating it up. They probably aren't even upset that she just insulted their intelligence. They're just probably like, slay it, queen. She taught me something I already knew, and I'm just going to take in more information because she's just so intelligent. It literally
so
upsets. It should upset a person with intelligence.
My 9-year-old speaks better than she does as well. He's quite articulate.
Yeah.
Here you go.
The folks are hearing tangible policies. I know Donald Trump, saying that the vice president copied him, but this tipped wage piece is there's bipartisan movement here for this tip.
There is?
Yeah.
No. There's bipartisan movement for it, but it didn't show up when the bill passed to nix it.
Yep.
Methinks you're lying. You thinks you're lying, especially looking like Glory up in here.
Wage workers are very important. Obviously, the backbone of the economy, specifically in a place like Las Vegas. And this is just one of those economic policies that will go to the heart of doing something directly for people that they can feel. I know that there's reporting that the vice president is going to unveil more of her policy prescriptions when it comes to the economy in the coming weeks. What can you tell us as a little preview to that?
I don't really want to hear his answer, but I'm more interested in her question because it's based on a complete and utter lie. Hear me out, if this was something she was proposing for forever ago and that bipartisan support exists, where has it been spoken about before?
Yeah, it hasn't been.
But by whom? I have never heard any politician before Trump mention no taxes on tips. Not a single person in politics.
Agreed.
Right. And then I posted about this earlier on TikTok. Why is she running a campaign like she's not in office? Like she's not the vice president of the United States. If there's bipartisan support for no tax on tips, then why don't you get with your Democrat and Republican colleagues and pass a no tax on tips right now?
Right. There's bipartisan support, isn't there?
Yeah.
All I can say, guys, is this is
the action or practice of taking someone else's work, idea, etc., and passing it off as one's own.
And the thing, the reason she ran with this no tax on tips, out of all the things she could have ran on, is because it's trending right now.
Yeah.
You see it all over social media where people are saying no tax on tips and they put Donald Trump on there. It's trending. And we all know that Kamala Harris is a social media candidate. She thinks, she has some type of FYP status on TikTok. So she's running with something that's trending under Donald Trump. And as Jay stated, she's plagiarizing it because it's trending. So her name over time can get tied to it. It's never going to work. We know who created it. We know who originated it. And it ain't this walking cluster bomb of a candidate.
Yeah. So you're saying that Democrats are unoriginal?
Yeah,
unoriginal.
Yeah.
They're always unoriginal. But here's the thing: is like we already talked about this last week about her trying to get with a massive streamer in order to be a social media candidate, which she's not. She just isn't. She's not popular. Nobody likes her. Nobody wants her on their show, because like she's not fun.
But she's
Donald Trump is fun,
but
Kamala Harris is not.
Have you not heard her speak about the computers and stuff?
Right.
She's brilliant. You want me to prove to you she's brilliant?
And Marlon, while you're pulling that up, Jay said they're unoriginal. They're unoriginal. You look at the Civil Rights Act. That's how unoriginal they are.
And not only that, well, they did take slavery from somebody else. True. So I guess they are unoriginal. This is Kamala Harris, because remember Hochul, right?
Yeah.
Ms. Hochul said that black folk really don't know about what computers even are.
Yeah.
Okay. If Kamala is black, then Hochul is right. I'm just saying
In
If
in
y'all
worst
want
case,
Kamala
she's
to be
the
black, she is proof that Hochul was 100% in the right for what she said.
Touche,
in-
sir.
You
okay.
want proof?
Here's
All right,
another one for you.
Let's go.
Sorry, go
Here's,
ahead.
here's
Then.
proof.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house.
Mm.
It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud
What?
that exists above us.
Mm.
Right? It's no
Seriously?
longer in a
Remember.
physical place.
If you like,
It
Wow.
actually is in a physical place. I'm not sure Kamal understands how data is stored. So we have something called servers. Okay, not like at Denny's or Red Robin. There are these massive computers. Okay, and what they do is store information. What cloud means is that it's remote from your computer. So if in case your computer crashes, there is a backup file on another computer that isn't attached to you.
Yeah.
You see, so there's nothing in the sky. This is not okay. The cloud is not Jesus. It is something else. Okay, information is transferred, wirelessly. Yes, but when it lands again, it's going back into another hard drive somewhere else. And if that were to fry, it doesn't matter how many clouds you got in the sky. It's not going to rain back your information down on your computer. So
Right.
Okay, so I have a question. So what's a laptop?
it's a top that you put on your lap.
Yeah.
And there's clouds in this device?
Yes, rain clouds.
But
What
how
is
did the
the
clouds? How did the
significance?
clouds get in there to hold my information?
Bluetooth.
I'm black. I don't understand what she's talking about.
Well, you can't help but not understand. You're black. You'll never understand.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So two things first. First thing's the joke, which is she's the worst tech support I've ever seen in my life.
But it fits because she's Indian.
Yeah, exactly. And two is, did you see her? What she looked like? She does not look like she looks like now. It looks like she's had some work done or something's happened to her face.
Yes,
it looks completely different.
I mean,
hello, tech support. I'm here to help you find your cloud.
Because that's, I believe that the new Kamala is central casting. I'm just saying, that's just me.
Oh man,
I just found your information on the cloud. It will be rained upon your computer in 5 days. Please tell your computer outside on your lawn for the rain, because as soon as the cloud become too heavy with information, it will fall right on your computer and will cause it to work exponentially quick. Please do that right now.
Marlon, you also got to mention that you need to use Bitcoin to pay us.
Walmart and get.
Oh yes, to find your Bitcoin, take your hammer and smash the side of your computer, and the cookies will come flying out. It's good for snacks.
There you go.
Oh man, jeez, man, it's just.
You're welcome.
Am I the only one that really honestly, seriously, does that am I the only one that upsets my intelligence being insulted like that?
Yeah. No.
Is it just me?
No, it's not you. I think most people find it insulting.
Okay, I was about to say, it's very insulting.
To be fair, though, the average literacy rate in the United States is 75%. So
that's true. The cloud.
I'm just saying this one thing. If you have to stretch, it's no different than Hillary Clinton. The only difference is Hillary Clinton was running at a time where she honestly thought she had no competition. Okay. Kamala is of the idea that she has competition, but it's nowhere near as good as it says it is, and she really does believe that she has a chance to win, but not because she has that mindset. They believe they can do just about anything they want, and people will buy into it. Crowd size, you can repeat yourself, no one's caring, as long as you're saying it with enthusiasm and coming across. The new thing now is this word joy. Have you heard the new propaganda points?
No.
Okay. The new propaganda point is the word joy. Okay.
Like J-O-Y, joy?
No. So Tim started this where he was talking about how he's going to bring a platform of happiness and joy to America again. The very next day, every media outlet, you keep hearing about this idea of joy, the joy. And it's all about it's so good to have joy back. And so what they'll do is flood the market with a buzzword. one particular word that'll keep getting rewound over and over and over and over and over until it sticks in your mind that their campaign is about happiness and joy. So that anything they say will be painted with the lens of this must be good for me.
Right. Because remember what Obama did? It was hope and change.
Hope and change.
And Marlon, on your point, they did the same thing with the word weird. Remember, they came out and said Donald Trump, JD Vance are weird, and you saw it all over social media. So this falls under what? Operation
Mockingbird.
Operation Mockingbird, which hasn't ended. Everyone thinks it ended, but it hasn't. They use buzzwords and words like this to get it in people's heads. So when they see the word joy pop up and it's tied to Kamala Harris, they make a connection. When you see the word weird pop up, psychologically, you're subconsciously, you're making a connection to who? Donald Trump.
I don't know.
It's social engineering. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, though, whenever I hear the word weird coming out of a Democrat's mouth, I automatically think to Tim Walz, who may or may not have had multiple gulpings of horse milk.
No, my thing would be when they say, well, Republicans are weird. I go, have you ever been to Folsom? The parade there in Folsom? I'm just saying.
On Marlon's point of joy, just watch how Tim Walz is in front of a crowd. He's just it's like he's overdoing his excitement. If you notice. So for him to use the word joy and he's coming off as this joyful Bernie Sanders wannabe guy, he's overdoing. He's like laughing and clapping like quirky and stuff, and he's doing all this. And you see how he's playing into this joyful old man, the teacher, the coach, and they're putting that on him as this joyful, humble, nice old veteran man. It's all weird. Messing with your head.
Yeah.
But that's
and
weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it's all weird.
No, that's weird.
Look for the signs, people.
These are the same type of people that are like, yeah, no, it's totally fine to uplift people that are marginalized and approve of their fetishes or whatever. So we would get a Defense Department briefing from a guy in a dog mask if they were allowed to do so. And then we're supposed to take you seriously at that point when you're like you have a guy in your administration that was stealing dresses from airports.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
If you go to MSNBC right now, you will hear them talking about Tim's speech about being joyful. Okay. And multiple platforms take it on the same idea. And it's an effort to make sure that you stay emotional because everybody wants to be happy. Nobody wants to be sad. But technically, after that point, they don't ever talk about what will bring you joy. They just want you to know that it will be joy. And it's a whole slavery thing. Joy in the morning. You're going to have joy. Don't worry about it. Joy is good for us. Everybody needs some joy. And this dark time, the comparison has always been the other side wants darkness and gray and impoverished and all that stuff. It's an effort to take your eye off of the policy ball. Exactly. The problem is when she does get back on the policy ball, it's about 2 seconds long. And then she goes to plagiarizing someone else's policy point. And she doesn't have one. Have anybody gone to her website? Is it populated yet with anything?
No, it's not. It's still not populated. With
is there a way we can pull it up so we can show the world, or no?
Yeah, well, you can
Let's do it.
But here's the point about that is like the interview with MSNBC said they were going to bring it out in a couple of weeks. It's like in a couple of weeks, it's going to be in the middle of the last end of the election, and you have no policy positions on your website, not a single one, not even from like just copying and pasting from the Joe Biden website onto your website.
Donate. She's asking for money, so that's like within her realm.
Yeah.
Asking for money.
Just close it.
That's it.
Okay. Guess who's taking the payments?
Act Blue.
APAC.
Act Blue.
Act Blue.
It's always Act Blue. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's close this and see. Maybe there's more information underneath this. This is the first thing to ask you, just to get it out the way. Okay, so they don't bombard you. Let's see here. Okay, let's win this.
Wow. Impressive. You know what it reminds me of is a high school student's attempt at making a website.
Maybe it's under Meet Kamala Harris.
Yes, but it's got to be. There it is.
Oh, it's just a review of
yeah.
who she is. Yeah.
Okay. Reproductive. Oh, look at that fake hug, right? That's so fake.
We're gonna do our part.
No policy.
No.
Okay, maybe Tim has a policy. Let's see. No.
No.
Okay. Take action.
Just an email address. Okay. Put me in, coach. Really?
Okay. It's under events. I know. I can feel it.
Yep. I know.
No.
Organizing on TikTok. That's interesting. Training session. Look, do you see that?
You know what? You should apply just so you can get the information and then expose
Dude.
them. Do it. Just see what they send you.
Available for all these things.
We can do it live. Like, here's what they sent me.
Attend. Okay, 1,533 signups have come. Okay, I'm not sharing jack.
You want to sign up for 3 more events? Is there like a black action like thing in there somewhere?
I'm checking to see if there's a foreign. Good work. Zoom for banks. Own voters. Let's go. Let's go with that one. And
is it a book club? Wow, sounds boring.
Let's go with good projects. Let's do that.
Yes.
One more and.
Doesn't really matter. Was it phone voters? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with phone voters.
That's a good one.
Skip.
Okay, next. And of course, they still ask you to give money.
It's like, no, just click done. Jeez.
Not
I'm
going
money
to do it. Thank you. All right.
Now, here's a question. Is Joe Biden's campaign site still up? Because just like the TikTok page, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We know they did a swap. They just took out Biden and added Kamala. So I wonder.
I don't understand why they didn't do that.
I wonder if this page is the same.
Let's find out. Campaign website. Joe for president. Chimichanga hot for. Oh my goodness. Look at. I don't know what this is, but look at this.
See, Joe Biden. Oh, it's still up. Biden Harris.
It's the same setup. It's the same setup.
It is the same setup. Okay, close it and see if he actually had any positions to begin with.
I'm saying they just mirror each other's pages. They're lazy.
Let's go, Joe.
No,
he went.
Accomplishments, issues. What issues do we have?
Joey,
strengthen democracy, middle class, fighting Lord, working hit. Okay, this is stuff on his platform. Take action. Sign up, huh? Yeah, you go.
Hey, is it frozen or what? Because we're not seeing anything. You're saying we still have the Joe Biden sub.
Yeah, I don't know. I press close.
Okay, there it goes.
There it is.
Yeah,
finish the job.
Wow, they don't issue. Is it under issues?
No. This is the issues here. That's
okay. That's his policy position, isn't it?
That's all his. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, like 5 things? Like, what is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
So they were so lazy on the Kamala Harris website that they couldn't even copy and paste 6 issues from the Joe Biden campaign to run on.
Take action.
Sounds all right.
Redirects you to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Let me go to the store. See what kind of cool stuff they got.
What kind of merch we got?
Let's see what you got.
Probably a skin suit.
Whoa. Wait. Hold on. No. Hold on. Wait a minute. I pressed store on Biden Harris.
Mm-hmm.
What I got was Harris Walz.
Yeah.
Oh.
The official store. Thing.
But they're not the same people.
Yeah.
They're tied together.
Oh, look at that camo hat. Isn't it cute?
Oh, look, it's so edgy.
But okay, I'm on it. This is me, okay?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Yes.
For the president to be campaigning for you?
That does raise an interesting question. Is it a campaign finance violation because he's no longer running?
And to be using his website, the president's website, to push your merchandise?
Yeah.
Who's also running for president?
Interesting.
Well, when you look up Joe Biden's campaign site, it redirects you to donate to her.
Kamala.
Yeah.
But the question is that legal?
I don't know if that's legal.
Can a sitting president campaign for another person running?
Well, this has never happened before, so it's definitely a gray area because like he dropped out. He's no longer running. He's no longer seeking re-election, but he can't. That means he shouldn't be able to do in-kind donation through running a website that she was previously on, but they're no longer on the ticket together. Because technically, the money that he had went to her, but if they still donate to that, it's still not technically hers because it's for that campaign.
That's
and not
what I'm
her
saying.
campaign.
But they're using it illegally then.
Yeah, you would think.
And that donation button that Marlon hit is tied because it sends you straight to her account.
Right,
but those two accounts are tied together.
Yeah. Why not just take it down to begin with?
Yeah,
Once he's
just take
decided to no longer run, he shouldn't even have it up anymore.
And that is the idea. That's the thought.
Yeah.
Someone smarter than us, you know.
Yeah, look, honestly, I really do want to know. Now, I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just confused as to how it's not. But if it is not, and then it's not, I'm just wondering how it is that you can have a show up on your page that is saying, this is me, Biden Harris. And then on that page, it takes you to a person that's running for president that's still in your cabinet to get that money that I was going to give to your
campaign. Yeah.
I'm weirded out by that. That one's a little bit weird.
And it's not like they're giving to a super PAC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's directly to the candidate.
Yeah. At least it should be, unless they're saying it's going to Act Blue, which is then distributing the money to all of the Democratic Party.
But that's not what it is on the surface even. You're giving it directly to Harris.
Right. Most people would assume that if I'm on their website, I'm donating directly to Kamala Harris or to them.
If y'all out there and you're all, scholars at this, please let me know, because that don't seem normal at all. Much less allowable. I don't know. I'm just saying I just don't know. But from what we can see, she's trying to be she's trying to take all of Trump's ideas and brand her as herself, which is why we did the poster we did, is because she's trying to phase in herself as the new friends to everybody. She understands the kind of draw that Trump gets. She understands the kind of traction he gets. She understands that his policies are indeed something that the American people are looking at wanting. So what if yours are failing? What do? Copy. Look, all kids that cheat in school do this, man. You go to your test, you didn't study, and then you ask your guy right in front of you, hey man, what's the answer number 2, man? What's the answer number 2? And the dude's like, man, stop questioning me, man. I got to do my own. Man, come on, man. You're the smartest kid in the class. Just tell me what answer number 2. And then when the guy gives them the wrong number and the wrong answer, they get mad at the kid after the test is over and they failed. You didn't give me the right, because you got to study your own self, man.
Yep.
Look, if y'all still vote for Kamala, have at it. Feel free. Do what you got to do. But if you do that, I have to assume one of two things about you. This is just an assumption. I'm not saying it's true. You have either used your body or allowed people to use your body to their contentment for personal gain, and you're not that quick mentally.
Yeah.
Something is off, that you don't investigate, you don't analyze, you don't really have any cognitive skills when hearing people speak. You just listen for certain buzz.
Yep.
And another thing, Marlon, to add to that, they're usually emotionally based voters. You have your logical voters who vote based off logic. Then you have your emotional based voters. The majority of people voting for Kamala are emotionally making or casting that vote. And the reasons they're casting it is, we all know, women, she checks all the blocks, person of color, a woman, whatever. And they're checking the blocks. So they're voting based off emotion. They can care less about our policies. And people keep talking about our policies. The left do not care what policies she brings forth. All they care is that she's a woman and that she's a person of color. She can say in her policy, I'm going to nuke California. They're not going to care. No, she's a woman, though. She's a woman. I trust her. That's all they care about.
Like, if you really think about it, what have the Democrats actually done to pass anything that actually helps the economy, helps the border, or actually helps the American people, other than pushing transgender stuff? Like, is this the only thing they've really been on? Is like an issue that affects maybe less than 3% of the population, if that, maybe 1%. That's the hill you want to die on that stuff. So it's crazy to me. Here's my thoughts on the election right now. As it stands, we have two very different candidates. We had Biden, but now we have Harris. And everything that I've seen from Biden and Harris, gives me no inkling or indication that they are able to actually do the job, period. Even forgetting Trump exists right now. If you tell me besides her gender and race and Trump, what she can actually bring to the table, it's literally nothing. She brings nothing to the table. No policies, no changes, nothing. There's nothing I've seen from her speaking or her events that prove to me she is capable of being president, period. Now, Donald Trump has his issues, but I do believe that he can actually bring something to the table, even if I disagree with a lot of the things that he has done or said or acted like. He is still the better person for the job, period. Because we're hiring somebody for a job, not because we like them. We're not best friends. I'm wanting him to do something for me. As that's literally what it comes down to.
I'm going to read something here for people. And in fact, I'll bring it up so we can all read it together. Because I think it's essential that we know about this particular thing, okay? Because we've been told a lot about this particular bill, the infrastructure bill that he's passed, they've passed. This is what it said. Now, mind you, this is not from a propaganda website. Maybe it might be. It's it's congress.gov. So it is pretty much propaganda. However, it says this is what the infrastructure bill and investment act does. Okay, roads, bridges, major project, passenger and freight, highway and pedestrian safety, public transport, broadband, ports and waterways, airports, water infrastructure, power grid reliability and resiliency. Resiliency, including funding a coastal resiliency, green thing, electric vehicle charging, addressing legacy of pollution, and Western water infrastructure. Okay, you get that's the mains, right? Okay, just wait. Here are some other subtitles, okay? Just wait for this one. Transportation infrastructure, finance and innovation, research, technology, and education. Wait for it. Indian affairs. Expedited and efficient environment reviews for tribal transportation safety projects. Okay, Kamala, hear me out. Where is that in specificity for the projects and ghetto and inner city? Now, mind you, those places are rife with things that are environmentally unsafe. I'm just curious. Are they environmentally unsafe? I believe they are, right? There's rats, there's rodents, and there's garbage.
They literally have the plague.
Good. So why wouldn't you set aside money to clean that up? Oh, that's right. Niggas. I forgot. My bad. I'm sorry, man. I forgot that you say you're for black people, but only to see them off this plant. I get it.
Yep.
Surface transportation investment,
What?
multimodal and freight transportation, rail. I just find that weird that they just throw that in there, and nothing. No, anyway, maybe it's just rail, motor carrier safety, highway and vehicle safety. Research and innovation. That's where all the money I'm going to make a bet. That's where it's going. Is into
That's where
looking
most of it
into
went,
things
yeah.
but never doing anything.
Oh my gosh.
Hazardous materials. Always something to do with railroads. Huh. Anyway,
Didn't they have a crash like right after this too?
right. And anyway, so general provisions, DOT, fish, transit, energy, chain of supply. I'm still waiting to see anything that actually is tangible. Enabling energy infrastructure investment and data collection. Okay. So far, anything of this looks like it's making any difference to American people?
No, not at all.
Absolutely not.
But okay, and then secondarily, why mention the Indians but not the blacks? Oh, let's go. Digital Equity Act. Let's see if that's what it is. Specific? No, not that either. Okay. This is their infrastructure bill. Look again, Indian Water Rights Settlement Completion Fund. Okay.
Wildfire mitigation. Isn't that a state issue, not a federal issue?
Look. Last I checked.
Recycling papers. You're going to federalize recycling papers.
It's funny. It's funny to me. There's a lot of forest in the United States, but it only seems like California is the only one always on fire.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do anything about the brush. So why
Yeah,
would it not
because like
burn?
Arkansas's got a lot of trees, but we don't have wildfires like that. We got tornadoes. We don't got wildfires.
I'm just confused, people. I really am, because this lady has been on platforms, on stages, and on podcasts, one or two, and has told a whole bunch of stuff that, yeah, this is true and this is true, but you don't actually have anything to prove in your track record, neither as DA, as senator, or as VP. Nothing you've done has told us that, one, you're either capable, or two, that you're seriously planning to change anything. In your infrastructure bill that everyone likes to brag about, there's nothing in there that actually promotes jobs. All of it is research based. All you're doing is spending money looking into what we could possibly maybe do.
Or energy companies.
But I don't even see how that's actually done for billing. You want to implement things, but has anything started being built with the infrastructure bill money? No.
Mm-mm.
And it's been a year and a half already.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I just know that for us, you're going to see her plagiarize more. She's going to come out with something else that Trump has said, or something else that he did back in his 2016 term. And you're going to hear her mention it as though it's something brand new. And then you're going to hear the news run with it. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get worse. And I'm still standing on my prediction of no election. I'm still standing on that. So, any final words, fellas?
Mike, you want to go first, or you got nothing?
No, go ahead, Corey.
Like I said, to reiterate what I said before, is that there's I'm going to get this out of the way. There are things that I dislike about Donald Trump. I've always said that from the beginning. I never voted for him either time because of my personal beliefs on it. The fact that he's gone after Joe Rogan annoys me, in that his team is alienating people that are potential voters, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. There are things like that. But that being said, I will this time, because I know he can actually do the job, and I don't want Kamala Harris to be president, because she is not capable as much as a 6-year-old would be capable of running the United States. That's why, because we've shown you the proof of what we think and how she acts and who she is. If we cannot convince you to not vote for her, then there's nothing we could have done to begin with.
Exactly.
Because we've shown you the truth, and we've said the truth the entire time.
Any last words, Vision Man? Oh, you going next, Mike? Go ahead.
Yeah, at the end of the day, people vote in their best interests. When it comes to Joe Rogan and all these super freaking celebrities, whatever they say, they say. Donald Trump's base is Donald Trump's base. His base is going nowhere. Doesn't matter if Joe Rogan doesn't vote for him. Doesn't matter if Tim Pool doesn't vote for him. Doesn't matter. They can go vote for whoever they want. Donald Trump's base is ride or die with Donald Trump. Doesn't matter what he says. Doesn't matter what he does. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Joe Rogan, whatever he's thinking, that's Joe Rogan. He's all over the place. But I still like him. I'm down with Joe Rogan. So, always vote in your best interest. And we need to get back to the point in America to where we stop asking people who they're voting for. We do a podcast. If we influence people's votes, we influence it. But at the end of the day, it's none of our business who you vote for as an American. Cast your vote, do it privately. It's your business. And let's get away from asking people who they vote for, because it calls.
Who you voting for?
I'm voting for whoever's the best candidate.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. I mean, if you really,
that's it. Just vote in your best interest, because you as an individual, you're always going to vote what's best for you. Though we think of the country as a whole, you or who you have to worry about in your realm and your family. So always go in that direction, and that's how I'm going to vote. And I'm always going to vote for the best candidate. I don't need to tell you, because you guys already know, but it is what it is. Vote in your best interest.
Right. And to kind of carry on to that is that, look, if you're upset that these are the only picks that you got, then blame the parties. Like, why be mad at the United States or the government in there? It's like, you're the one that keep voting these people in. If you're really that upset about it, change it.
Jay.
So in college, if you are writing a paper and it comes to find out that you have taken the works of somebody else without citing the source for it, that is grounds for expulsion. And when you do that, you find yourself to be a dishonest individual, and you definitely have failed. And in terms of this wannabe black woman, blackish woman, committing that act of, taking someone else's work, ideas, etc., and passing it off as one's own is literally what she's done, what she's doing.
Sure.
So if she's going to be a plagiarist, why would you want to vote for somebody like that?
Yeah.
the same reason they vote for Biden.
People know
as
who
far as
Donald
Joe
Trump is.
Rogan goes, though,
Yeah.
I can't. I tell you, I'm not a fan necessarily of Joe, simply because I've heard some
Yeah.
of his viewpoints are quite absurd. And for
Yeah.
as intelligent as he comes across, he's also quite a dummy at times. Where it's like, did you actually think that through before you said it, or are you just saying it because you feel like it's efficient for you to say at the time?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of him, but at the same time, I think that Trump has to minimize who he brings into the attacking radar, and focus specifically on that non-black woman running for president.
Yep.
And when I say focus in on her, I mean dig in, just like all the way Hulk versus a peon kind of thing. Just go at her character, and I mean decimate her character.
Yeah.
Because that is what she's been doing to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The populace is banking on you flying away from it and not stinking to the level, but you're not sinking to something when it's truth. Say it out loud. Say the crazy part that people don't want to talk about. And I'm glad that he made that interview with black people and told black she's not black. I'm glad he actually went on and did that. Now the next step is to show her for what she really is and expose her. If I had any advice from Mr. Trump, it'd be make sure you stay focused on who the actual enemy of this is, and it's them. Okay. Podcasters have a voice and they can say something, but the people making policies shouldn't have those kinds of same opinions, because they're not basing it on what they want. They have to base it on what the people want.
Right.
And she has not been doing that. So if I had advice to you, make sure you focus on her, cut her down, make sure you minimize what impact she has, and expose what you got to expose. But I still don't think he's going to get much of a chance to do it, because before it's said and done, we'll have something kick off here in America. They'll kick off an Iran war, and they'll have something say they'll have a sleeper cell act up, and it's national security because they were planning on bombing all of the voting polls, so we can't have the vote. And look, I've seen them do crazier things. They took down 3,000 people in 2 buildings just to get into your phone. Okay, that's like the crazy girlfriend who wants to see who you've been texting, and she will blow up an entire city square just to say let me in your phone now. That's what they did. They killed 3,000 plus Americans, all in an effort to what? To get access to you.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they did.
Of doing anything else? Come on, man. Come on.
So to get a good analogy, Donald Trump's got the Democrats on the ropes, and he's just laying into them, but then he turns around and punches the ref for some reason.
For some reason.
Yeah. That's you got to focus on the attack, man. Get the uppercuts in there, finish them off, win the election, and then you can deal with it later.
Yeah.
But don't punch the ref.
Go Tyson on him. Go Tyson on him.
And I said this on X, and I was just like, the right, especially the mainstream right, needs to stop being civil with these mainstream leftists. You guys have the platforms, you have the voice. Stop playing nice with them. They go low. What Hakeem Jeffers? They go low, we go lower. They go low, you hit them low. Of course, they're going to retaliate with racism and misogyny. You should be used to these attacks by now.
They mean
just
nothing.
let it roll off. Let it roll off your shoulder. Hey, whatever. If they go low, they hit hard, you hit harder. You attack, they attack. You attack, and you expose them with truth. All they're going to try to do is throw out lies and propaganda.
No.
You hit them back with truth, even harder, because the truth hurts more. The lies don't hurt. Stop reacting to the lies. Focus on the truth and hit them with the truth every time. And that's how we win.
And that's how I try to operate. Is I try not to knowingly say something I know is wrong or false. I try
Sometimes
to say
funny,
what.
though.
Yeah, unless it's funny, and then I'll say what I say. But the point is that when I'm trying to give you information, I'm going to give you the truth that I believe is true. I'm not going to give you something false just to win the argument.
Exactly.
I like that word. I'm going to start using it that way. They fortified the election.
Yeah, because they did that. There was an entire article of how they had a conspiracy behind the scenes to fortify the election.
Fortify. YouTube, we said fortify, which means to bolster, to make strong again. Fortify. Okay. Fortify.
They would fortify the
fortify.
election. They would fortify the election, but not the border. Just let that sink in.
Yeah.
We need to fortify the election by getting everybody and their mother out to vote. I don't care if you have to go around in a van and pick up all your family members. Go vote.
Well, make sure you have ID if you're black, and if you don't have ID, then I'm sorry.
Just call yourself an asylum seeker.
Teach people how to use a computer. There you go.
And if you need to find out where the election site is, just get with your neighbor. They have a computer. They can talk you through it.
Yeah, they but maybe they might be black.
White neighbor. Yeah, your white.
Okay,
neighbor.
thank you. Make sure you clarify. Get a white neighbor to show you.
Find your white neighbor. They can show you how to use a laptop and the internet, and they can show you how to navigate through the web, the WW web, the thing. You put www, and then it takes you to a page, and it's
to the
called the
clouds.
internet.
Take you to the flying around butterflies in the sky.
There's this thing called a search engine, not like a car engine. It's a search. You not like you're searching. You search on the web.
Yeah.
And then you type something in using the keyboard. The keyboard has letters on it, and then you got to type on it like a typewriter.
But make sure your spelling is on point.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Harris.
Don't be on fleek. Anyway, so that's our episode today. Wednesday, we'll be back. Make sure you tune in. More gear is up there, including the Somali
soda.
Somali soda one. It's a good
Somali
shirt.
soda.
We got the horse milk shirt as well, in case y'all want that. I do want to make a stolen valor shirt. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it to make it comical at the same time.
Ooh, yeah, that's.
If we can come up with a stolen valor shirt,
No.
I'd be
What you should do is what he did is make challenge coins with the with it saying the all-time best. Like he won a medal for drinking too much is what it was meaning. So make a challenge coin of that.
There you go.
Yeah,
because he
that
made challenge
company
coins
that-
as like command sergeant major. Yeah,
That company that we're getting the flags through can possibly do that.
Possibly.
that would
No,
be
I
fun.
know, but I know they probably can. Most
Stay
likely.
tuned for this. I think we may
And-
be onto something cool.
And one more thing, Marlon, make sure you guys don't forget tonight, Trump, Musk
Yep.
talk. I think
That's gonna be
drop
fun.
He's gonna drop some serious stuff. So,
Isn't it already going right now? Is it at 7?
5 o'clock, so it'll be in 30 minutes.
Oh, so 8 o'clock
Yeah.
is when it starts.
Yeah, 8
After
o'clock
the show.
Eastern. So make sure you
Sorry.
watch it, and then hopefully we'll talk about it Wednesday. And
I
have
wonder
some
if we
good
can
stuff.
stream it.
Ooh,
Probably.
if it's on X, so X will allow you to stream it. You have to go to Trump's.
I'll figure it out. If it is, we'll be back tonight and it'll be playing.
That's 30 minutes.
I'll
We
set
can
it up
eat.
on the I'll set it up on the one that you have access to on StreamYard.
Yeah.
That way you can shut it down when it's time. I think because I'll be going live right after this on Too Strong at 5.
We're just gonna let it run.
Or you can talk, either one.
Ooh.
But I think we should stream it. We could get some good traction on it.
Are you gonna have the link in there already?
What do you mean?
So you're gonna start it, and you're just gonna go do your
Yeah, I
other
have
one.
other things to do. I'll just put it up to run and let it run.
Yeah.
Just like I did with the trial thing.
Oh yeah. Let's do it like that. I'll log in and just I probably won't
Yeah.
talk.
So to look out, we might put it up on our page, So to take a look out for that. Make sure it won't be for another 20 minutes. So, but I'll at least catch 20 minutes of it. So just look out for that. But we will be back tomorrow. And in either case, if you guys haven't checked out the Rumble episode from Saturday, go do that. It was a really good one. All 3 topics really blended together perfectly, almost smoothly, succinctly. So really good. Check it out. And we'll be back on Wednesday, or rather tonight, to stream the Trump Elon Musk conversation. And then we'll be back on Wednesday. Mr. Lee.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you when we see you.
Peace.